السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Brothers and sisters in Islam, what does the word ungrateful or ungratefulness mean? You might think that the answer lies literally in the word itself, meaning not being grateful, not showing gratefulness. But in an Islamic context, we need to understand it in its proper definition. Gratefulness in Islam is made up of three components. If any one of these components are lacking, then it is not true gratefulness. Whether that gratefulness is shown to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or towards the creation. These three components are so essential that it is important for us to know in order to show that true gratefulness. The first and most important of these three is that gratefulness or gratitude, it is shown in the heart first and foremost. And the reason why the heart is specified, brothers and sisters, is because the heart is the foundation of all action. The Prophet ﷺ told us, ألا إن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله وإذا فسدت فسد الجسد كله ألا وهي القلب. Meaning that the Prophet ﷺ said, verily in the body there is a piece of flesh. If that piece of flesh becomes good, then the rest of the body becomes good. And if that piece of flesh becomes bad, the rest of the body becomes bad. And then the Prophet ﷺ specified it and he said, "Ala wa hiya al-qalb." Verily, indeed, this piece of flesh, it is the heart. And the heart is the place of the intention. The Prophet ﷺ told us, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَّا نَوَى, that all actions are connected to their intentions, and every individual, every person will get what they intended. So every single thing, our actions, our statements, it all goes back to the heart, to our intentions. So gratitude, gratefulness is no different. In order for us to show it, we need to feel it within ourselves. Whether it is the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showers us with day and night, or it is the kindness that we show each other as individuals, as people. And then the scholars, they go further and they mention the second part. And they say, in order for you to show gratefulness, it needs to be shown in your actions. You need to come with actions that reflect that gratefulness. If someone does you good, the only logical thing is for you to do good back to that person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, "Hal jaza'u al-ihsani illa al-ihsan." Is the reward or the compensation of good other than good? And who shows us the most good? Our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us these blessings, we in turn need to show that gratitude. And it's impossible for a person to say, "I am grateful in my heart," when their actions show the complete opposite. This is like the hypocrites, the munafiqun, that they say something, they do certain actions, but the things that they have, وَمَا تُخْفِي صُدُورُهُمْ أَكْبَرُ, what they have inside their hearts, it is much worse. And finally, and I believe this is the point that we as Muslims today, we fail to implement. It is the aspect of acknowledging that, showing that gratefulness in our speech, on our tongues. You might have heard of that saying, if you have a business and 10 people come to you and they do business with you, if 9 out of the 10 people are happy with your business, they won't say anything. They'll keep that to themselves. But if you have one disappointed customer, what will happen? That one disappointed customer, they will start telling everyone. Can you believe how this person treated me? When in reality, that person might have had 9 other customers that all kept silent. But because of one individual who felt that they were wrong, they spoke up. And we see it within communities. If you ask people about community members, if you ask them about the masjid and so on, everyone will say, "Alhamdulillah." Once they're asked, they'll say, "Alhamdulillah, I'm happy." But we keep it to ourselves. And this is not the complete gratefulness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us. The Prophet ﷺ told us that we as people have not shown gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until we show gratitude to those people around us. By showing gratefulness to people around you, you are in reality showing gratitude and gratefulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Creator. And this takes effort. It Because it's not really in our nature. If something good happens, we keep silent. Alhamdulillah, things are going well. But the minute something goes wrong, then everyone wants to give their opinion. But where were you when things were going right? Where were you to show that support to people? And alhamdulillah, as an imam, I have met many people in the community that could care less what people say, because they never do things for the sake of people. They prefer working behind the scenes. And even when they come up to me, they say, Imam, I will help you on one condition, and that condition is, do not mention my name. I want this to be done with ikhlas, with sincerity. And that is a noble thing. But it does not take away our responsibility as community members in acknowledging when people do good. That if someone steps up, volunteers, supports the community in whatever capacity they can, it is our responsibility to acknowledge that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give that person a greater reward both in this akhirah and in this dunya and in the akhirah. But it does not relieve us of our responsibility. This issue of ungratefulness, the lack of showing gratitude or being thankful of people, it is something that we see with our own eyes. We see it within our homes. The husband works 2 jobs just to support his family. He works day and night, takes on as many shifts as possible. Yet within the family there is no acknowledgement of his sacrifice. If you ask the wife, are you happy, are you grateful? She will say, yes, of course, alhamdulillah. Raising our children, looking after our household. But instead of us showing that gratefulness, that gratitude, what do? We do the complete opposite. We come back home and we say, why is the food not ready? Why is there too much salt in my food? Why is the food burnt? Are we eating this again? Didn't we have the same food yesterday? And so on and so on. And we're going against the clear commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In a community setting, the same approach. Instead of us showing that gratitude, standing side by side and helping the masjid and helping people in the community, what do? As soon as we see a shortcoming, we are the first ones to voice our opinion. And we say, why is this not being done like that? And why is this happening and why is that happening? But when we are called to engage in the community, tomorrow there's going to be a workshop, we're nowhere to be seen. Tomorrow there's going to be a fundraising, we're nowhere to be seen. In the management, and you say, what can I do? Not what are you supposed to do, what can I do? Do you want me to buy the mop? Do you want me to help clean? Do you want me to dedicate some time? And this is what we lack. And we mention it khutbah after khutbah. Because the easy approach is to place blame, just like Iblis did. Iblis, he blamed everyone else, including his own creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, oh Allah, this is because you made me in this way, because you created me in this way. Blame upon everyone else except himself. But this is not the Muslim way. The Muslim way is that of self-accountability. You see something wrong, you think, what can I do about it? And if everyone has this mentality, this mindset, you will see a lot of things different. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله على إحسانه وشكر له على توفيقه وامتنانه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له تعظيما لشانه وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Brothers and sisters, you might think, why is the Imam speaking about gratefulness and ungratefulness, gratitude and the lack of gratitude? And the reason is simple, brothers and sisters, is that serving this religion is not a one-man show. Even when you look into the story of the people before us, it might be easy to think that it was one person that made all of these things possible. It was because of the sacrifice of one individual. But the reality is, when you start looking further, you will see that that one individual had an immense supporting network. Musa alayhi salam, when he was sent to Fir'aun with this great task to call Fir'aun to Islam, the first thing he did was he realized that this task was much bigger than himself. And he asked Rabbul Alameen, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَجَعَلْ لِي وَزِيرًا مِنْ أَهْلِي هَارُونَ أَخِي, and send with me a wazir, someone that can accompany me, my brother Harun Akhi, that he will stand firm beside me, and he is more, and he acknowledged the blessings that Harun had. هُوَ أَفْصَحُ مِنِّي لِسَانًا, he is more eloquent in speech than me. And they both went to Fir'aun and they conveyed the message. When you look at the Prophet ﷺ, it is easy to think that it was only the Prophet ﷺ. But once you look into his seerah, you will see the people who stood by him. First and foremost, Khadija radiallahu anha, his wife. She gave him that support at that critical moment. And the Prophet ﷺ, knowing how to be grateful, he never ever forgot it. Even after her death, he would still remember it. And he would make a point to keep the connection with her friends, to show them kindness. The Prophet ﷺ, throughout his life, throughout his time as a prophet, he had Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu next to him, supporting him both with his life, with his wealth, with everything that he could. And these great people, they show the acknowledgement. It makes them better individuals. The worst thing that we can do as human beings is to be ungrateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And instead of acknowledging the blessings, what do we say? إِنَّمَا أُوتِيتُهُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ عِنْدِي. that verily I have been giving all these blessings. Everything is coming my way because of the knowledge that I have, because of the might that I have, because of the authority that I have. And many of us, we are saying this indirectly. We think we are in the places that we are because of our education, because of our own sacrifices. And it is very important for us to realize that there's always been people behind the scenes. Until now and until the day that we leave this earth, our parents sacrificed their sleep for the sake of us. Our teachers sacrificed their time to teach us. Our scholars sacrificed their lives in order to convey this message of Islam for the sake of us. And what we need to do, brothers and sisters, we need to come with these three components of gratitude. That we feel this gratefulness within our hearts, and then we show it in our actions. We serve the community that we are a part of, and we do not keep silent. If we see someone doing good, we speak good. We encourage them. Not in order to make their heads big or to give credit just for the sake of giving credit. But we realize this is part of showing that gratefulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we are able to, we stand shoulder to shoulder with these people. If you see someone dedicating their time, their wealth, whatever they can for the sake of Allah, for the sake of this community, then you try to do the same. We look up to these individuals. On a final note, brothers and sisters, I want to emphasize for the youth that these stories about Musa alayhi salam asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make his brother a prophet like him, to get his support, the story of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with his own wife, it all shows the importance of keeping good company. That if you want the best of support, if you want that push in the right direction in life, you need to make sure that you surround yourself with people who have the same ambitions as you in life. Because if you don't, other people will drag you down. Trust me, I've seen it with my own eyes. People who had great potential, youngsters, youth, very clever, but they were in the wrong crowd. So what ended up happening? They became lazy and they stopped putting in as much effort. And then later on in life, they regretted their friends. When they look back at their childhood friends, one is in prison, the other one is dead, the third one doesn't even have much of a life. So we realize that in order for us to succeed, we need to surround us with people that want the same thing in their lives. And on that note, brothers and sisters, I wish to announce a new program, inshallah, that we will be launching for the youth here in the masjid. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, inshallah, not tomorrow, but next Saturday. I request from the parents in the community to bring your children from the ages of 7 to 15, from the ages of 7 to 15 to the masjid to spend the whole day from 11 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. We will have activities here in the masjid, teaching them about important aspects such as tahara, how to purify yourself, how to pray, important aspects of the religion. And again, this can only be a success if people step forward. both as volunteers and both as encouraging their children to come and attend. And like I said before, many people, many parents, they will hear about this and they won't act at all. And they will say, oh, nothing good happens in the masjid. So when they're called forward to help in the masjid, they're nowhere to be seen. But yet they are the first ones to complain. Let us change that, brothers and sisters. This program will go throughout the summer, inshallah, up until just before Eid al-Adha. It will be every Saturday, both for boys and girls. If any adults in the community wants to volunteer to participate, for the sisters, please contact Sister Shazia, that is on the board. And on the brother's side, please contact myself, the Imam here at the masjid. And with everyone's support, we can make sure that this summer holiday, this vacation, this time off from school, it is not wasted. And we can look back at it in a way that we have achieved something. So again, brothers and sisters from the age of 7 to 15, please come to the masjid. Adults that want to volunteer and participate, inshallah, we will start not tomorrow but next Saturday. And with that, inshallah, we will conclude. ثم اعلموا أيها المؤمنون أن الله أمركم بأمر بدأ به بنفسه وثنى بملائكة قدسه وثلث بكم أيها المؤمنون من جنه وإنسه فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وارض اللهم عن خلفائه الأربعة أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن سائر الصحابة ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وعنا معهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين يا رب العالمين اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم